Hi, I've managed to build a Class 700 12 car. It is a little bit difficult at the moment because while we're in this formation designer builder, you can't get a grasp of each vehicle, and it's very much a bit of trial and error. And also, once you do build it, it's whether it's going to work or not. So it's took a few attempts, but I've managed to build a Class 700 that actually runs on third rail because that's what I was testing it on the London commuter, which is, so this is primarily for use on the third rail, which is what most of the routes that it goes on train sim board is anyway, at full speed, because I had built one version but it didn't run very well, and then I've hashed it and it's working okay. So what I've had to do is, so just to kind of give you the basics of the 8 car formation, the additional vehicles, so the additional 4 vehicles, um, there's 2 extra power vehicles and 2 extra trailer vehicles. And the 2 extra trailer vehicles on a 12 car are exclusive trailer vehicles, which you only see on a 12 car. So let me explain. On an 8 car, we'll always have a driving vehicle like this one here. So that's the driver motor, which is a motoring vehicle. Then you have this vehicle, which has no motor, but it's a pantograph. So it's a pantograph trailer. So when I say trailer, it means it has no motoring capabilities, but it has a pantograph. The next vehicle is a motoring vehicle. So as you can see, there's no pantograph or anything. It's got shoes on. You'll see shoes on the bogies. This is a motoring vehicle. Now, the 12 car has an extra motoring vehicle, which I've added in. So there's an extra motoring vehicle. Okay. And then the thing we can't add in because we don't have access to it is another trailer. So basically, just like the motoring one, but without any motors in it. Fortunately, we don't have that. So to enable this design to work, we need to put in another PTSO. So this is another pantograph vehicle, but it's a trailer, so it's got no shoes. It doesn't pick up anything. Yeah. The next vehicle, then, since the 6th vehicle in the 8 car formation, is the wheelchair space. So this again is a trailer. It doesn't have any power. And then the next one that sits right next to it is the wheelchair toilet. Hang on, is that the wheelchair toilet? Oh no, sorry, apologies. That's the wheelchair toilet. That's the wheelchair space. But yeah, so basically the wheelchair toilet, the wheelchair space. Now, I will, before I go any further, I will say I've had a bit of an issue where I don't know why it was doing it, but I couldn't get them to couple. So I put 2 vehicles together. Now, whether I was doing the wrong vehicles, I don't know. But for some reason, they wouldn't couple. And then all of a sudden, I got them to couple. I think I know what I did, and I'll explain that in a second. So then I've had to put another PTSO in. Yeah, another MSO. What would have been the MSO on an 8 car, yeah, a PTSO, which you'd have anyway, and a driver. So just to recap, if you wish to build a 12 car 700, you can put each vehicle in separately. Unfortunately, at the moment, in the public beta, you can't actually see the vehicle names. So you've literally got to guess. And I'll show you what you do. So basically, when you go out official, these are all individual vehicles. That one at the bottom, mind you, it doesn't really matter, but if you press it, these are individual vehicles. So for instance, you just got to remember 1 is a driver, 2 is PT, is a pantograph, 3 is a motor, 4 is the disabled wheelchair space, 5 is the disabled wheelchair toilet, 6 is another MSO, 7 is the PTSO, and the 8th is another driver, right? So that's the formation, that's each vehicle. So you basically need 2 extra PTSOs and 2 extra MSOs. So I'm just highlighting where they are in your formation. The bigger issue I was having was these 2 vehicles here. So that's what vehicle 4 and 5, basically, and getting them to work properly. I'm sure I just put 2 4s in for some two vehicle 4s in. So 2, 3, 4, and somehow they've still managed to set the configuration right. And when I was using vehicle 5, that seemed to be causing me an issue. But anyway, I've overcome it, and that's what I've done. So, next thing is to when you do build it, so you put vehicle upon you add a vehicle, so you just literally add the vehicle. When you go add official, you add a vehicle as you go along with the formation. Now, once you've built it, make sure that all the corridors, so just flip through and make sure all that the corridors are, oh, got a wrong view, all the corridors, if you look between the vehicles, are connected. If you see a gap, you will have a power problem and you will need to, huh? Oh, well, that's interesting because I've got a gap there and I've tested it and it was fine. Okay, maybe I need to flip it. No, oh no, then it just causes an issue. Oh no, so I've just flipped it and it's filled the, as it caused an issue. They said, oh, well that's strange. So why has that done that then? Right, I don't quite know what's happened there because it wasn't doing that earlier. So I don't know if that's a bug or not. But anyway, I'm going to come out of that. I'm not saving it because I don't want to have buggered it up. No. So yeah, that's basically the formation that you build. Just gotta make sure those bellows are done because I think if you don't, you get a problem. I'm just going to test. Oh, I'm just going to test it. So I'll just jump into the. I'm just going to jump into the London commuter. I'll go to Free Bridges if it's easy, isn't it? Yeah, which makes sense because that's where they're based. So it kind of works, doesn't it? Just put that there. I always do custom weather, and I'll see about what that means. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, the formation design is definitely very clunky at the moment, and it's got so much potential. I'm sure once they get it working, like you can mark up all the vehicles and everything, I think it will be much more flexible. Yeah, if I just put that 700 in, there it is. Custom formation. We'll have a quick walk down. Drivers, driving vehicle, pantograph vehicle, motor vehicle standard, obviously, another motor vehicle standard, another pantograph trailer, which should work. Then it's the wheelchair space. Then it's the wheelchair toilet, or it should be. Then it's the pantograph vehicle. Then I've got a gap. No, I never had a gap earlier. So something, I don't know what's happened there now. Right, I don't know what's happened there, but I've ended up with a gap, and I don't know why. Now that will affect my power because it means I won't have any power, continuous power. So what has happened there? I can't tell you. It's something to do with this vehicle this time. This is what I mean. It's so buggy. I've got no idea why it shouldn't couple. There's no reason at all why they were coupling earlier. The bug seems to be just carrying on down the line. But I got it working earlier, so I'm a bit perplexed of what's going on. I'll go into it anyway, and I'll have a look. It might be something I have to just ignore, but I'll go in now and test it so you can see. If it gets sluggish, that means that the issues come back that I had earlier, or it could just be aesthetic. It could just be wrong. But right. But I'll go through the process. Let's test it. If you don't test it, I'm supposed to know. Put my safety systems on because it's just what I do. I'm a creature of habit, and that's it. Okay. Get in. Turn the DC on. Turn the power supply on. Got no alarm light. Does this every time? Never get alarm lights straight away. Let me just set a path. Set a path just 8, so I'll just set it to Gatwick or something. So I've got a bit of a run. Okay. Now, I don't know what it is, but every time I try and set this up, it always fails the first time. So I'll turn the power off, go back to as it was, and then I'll turn it back on. Yeah. turn the power back on, and then I get it. So it works a second. It's like you've got to do it twice. So let me just start taking power. Yeah, well, I mean, it seems to be working okay. So even with the gap in the formation, it does appear to be powering okay. Because I've had it when it's been really sluggish, so I think that it's so we'll have to just ignore it. I think, but yeah, it's powering off okay. So let's just beard lights on. So let's just watch it come out. So yeah, we've got the driver. I've had to PTSO, motoring vehicle, another motoring vehicle coming past now. Then another PTSO to act as a trailer. Your wheelchair toilet, your wheelchair space. Another PTSO. Then you've got another two motoring vehicles, another PTSO, and then your driver at the back. Right, so I'm just going to let it rip, and then you'll hear the power then. So if I just keep it open and listen again, you'll hear the motoring vehicles. So obviously, that motors, driver vehicle. PTSO doesn't motor. That motors. That motors. That doesn't motor. That doesn't motor. That doesn't motor. That doesn't motor. That motors. That motors. That doesn't motor, but this one does. So that's basically the formation I've had to go with. So that works. As you can see, I'm picking up speed nice. There's no real issues there, I don't think. I've got the two extra power vehicles, which should help with the power, I think, anyway. So yeah, accelerating quite nicely. So there you go. That's basically it in a nutshell. That's my 12 car. Thanks for watching.